Weekend observations brought to you by Miller Lite. Dan, every year it comes and goes and doesn't get nearly the fanfare it deserves. But this year's edition was an absolute classic. A combined.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. Did I see that you bet both Army and Navy?
I did.
You bet on both of them to win?
I did,
Is this where we're headed
I don't
today?
bet against them. Do you? Do you bet against our armed forces, Dan? Do you?
No.
More dangerous than Brady. Careful.
No.
Careful.
I'm sorry.
I care about you.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but I did.
You put them both down as wins, I saw.
2-0. This year's edition, as I was saying, Dan.
Sorry.
An absolute classic. A combined 3 of 17 passing for 53 yards. A combined 105 rushing attempts for 384 yards. A block punt for a touchdown. Double overtime. A winning drive
So good.
of 3 plays for 3 yards and a 39-yard field goal. No losers, just winners. And Dan, just like that, the Army-Navy game is back.
Those helmets were awesome.
Oh, the best.
Ken Niumatalolo got fired afterwards.
I know.
Crazy. Or
Winningest
left, I
coach
guess.
in Navy history, I think, right?
Wonder if they're going to keep running the triple.
Mm-hmm. Raiders Steelers is the NFL equivalent of Army-Navy.
Can I ask a question? How many concussions were there at quarterback in that game?
It's Kenny Pickett's second of the season, I think. And
Oh,
he
my
hasn't even
God,
started
man.
every game.
And then Huntley, right?
Bad.
Yeah.
We're already there. We haven't gotten through one season that's been extended to 17 games, and the Ravens are on their third-string quarterback, and the Steelers are whipping Kenny Pickett in and out of the protocol. He needs to get back on the field. Otherwise, it's Trubisky.
Trubisky threw 2 really bad interceptions.
That's what he does.
Just made me sad.
Mm-hmm.
Sad. Higher draft pick, though. Let's go.
Yep.
Hashtag.
Now you're thinking. Right. Moss Miami. Miami's version of the Deer District.
That seemed like a super spreader.
I was worried. Yeah.
I got too close to people. It hasn't happened for 2.5 years.
Someone's spit landed on my bottom lip.
Mm-hmm. Dan, you know what the M's in Moss Miami stand for?
Yes.
What?
Music.
Not masks. You know what the S in Moss stands for?
Spreader.
Super spreader. Very good. You're on it today.
Tony, look, you've disappointed
What are
Tony.
you doing, Stu?
What do you mean? What am
are
I
you
doing?
You've been to dead shows where there have been
I know.
3 times as many people.
You're right. Listen, but I'm telling you, if I survive Moss, I'll survive anything.
You'll
That's
be
it.
fine.
I thought the bar was a dead show. It's not. It's Moss Miami. A guy spit in my mouth. Not lower lip, in my mouth.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Billy's
Hell yeah.
questioning. I see the face of skeptical Billy back there. What
He
happened?
wanted me to play a course with Tiger Woods. I fell for that before, okay? 10 years ago, I would have fallen for that. I forget the name of the course. He has pictures. He has videos. It's him. It's Tiger. They're playing on some course. He wants me to play with him and Tiger. He spit in my mouth. I mean, that's it.
Billy doesn't believe you.
Yeah, did.
I had a couple people come up to me and tell me that they went up to you multiple times to see if you'd notice.
There's no way I did.
Well,
you
this is the
did, and
other
I also
thing.
saw you sign the billboard thing twice.
I did.
Someone asked you 2 times to sign it.
Well, the first time I wrote over someone else's name. I mean,
Stugotz, every damn picture is of you lit up. Like every picture.
I was on good behavior, I feel like. I had a single beer. I mean,
Yeah, the beer wasn't the issue.
oh,
The strolls.
I love a good stroll. Babla was there. Always gets me on a stroll. Boston Celtics do it against the Warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously. No Boyd, no Higgins, no problem for Joe Burrow.
You're all in.
Best quarterback in the game. A year ago, I said the New Orleans Pelicans were a good team. Dan laughed at me. You know who's having the last laugh? Me.
They're good.
The Pels.
What happened with Zion? You see the quotes from Zion?
Oh.
He, at the end of a double-digit win, when the clock is running out, he just windmill dunks 360 in a spot where everyone runs out of the clock, and he's like, you have to understand. And he's like, I don't care if you understand, actually. That team took my teammates out last season, and now Zion is here at their back.
Yeah.
What
Guess
happened, Mike?
I'll move past that
Classless,
observation.
you don't do that. You don't want there could be a bet on the line. You don't do that.
No.
Run it out.
It's what you do.
Classy thing.
By the way, Zion.
It's a real Coach Spurrier type move.
Holy shit, he's good.
Yeah, he's very good.
Holy mackerel.
Holy cow.
Holy moly.
Holy smokes.
Do we have holy cow before? We might not
Yeah,
have
we had holy cow.
Oh,
Holy
Harry
guacamole.
Harry Carey. Holy moly.
I only knew Grant Wall from the times he appeared on our show. He meant a lot to people who mean a lot to me. Brave, kind, generous with his time are amongst the many adjectives they use to describe him. Rest in peace, Grant. Night golf. Weird transition. More, please.
You did weird transition it. A rare serious weekend observation.
I wanted to say that because
Okay.
Grant did, he meant a lot to people who mean a lot to me, and they had nothing. And I read a bunch of articles over the weekend, but the people who on this show, Witty, Mike, who really knew him, those are some of the adjectives they would use to describe Grant. I didn't know Grant in that way.
Jessica knew him
Yeah,
too.
Jessica
yes.
as well. And so I just wanted to say that. That's all. But there's no way to transition out of it to night golf.
No, well, you went
Yeah.
to serious, and now we got the dings behind it. It's rare to have the dings around a eulogy that at a time. But it was weird to do Moss when grieving. So that's where we kind of were this weekend.
Mm-hmm. Here comes Winnipeg. The Jets. They're good, Mike. It's a nice little hockey team up there in Canada. I don't know why I threw that in there.
Here come the Jets.
I mean, they're coming, Dan. They're playing well. Good thing Fernando Santos.
Who do you think their best player is?
That's a good question. Timu Solani?
Nikolai Hoppy-Bulin?
Oh,
That's a
top
great
5
name.
Jets?
That is a great name. That's
Top
a top
five
five.
Jets?
That's a top 5 hockey name for sure.
Good thing Fernando Santos doesn't make everything about Fernando Santos. If you want to beat Croatia in soccer, prepare to have to go to a funeral after the game because you're going to have to kill them.
What's happening with that?
What do you mean?
Mike, what is happening with that? That he's so right about this. Whether you're Brazil or someone
They
else,
fight.
Croatia, what's happening there?
You remember what Nikolai Hoppy-Bulin's nickname was? The
No.
Bulin Wall.
Oh, yeah. So good.
It's a top 5 hockey name, or top 5 sports name of all time. It has to be.
You wanna try spelling it?
I don't want to try
Javi
spelling.
Bullen? Javy? No. Like Javi Lopez. No?
You think he's Latin?
I don't know.
Marlon's killer.
He was.
Not as bad as Matt Diaz was, though.
Mm-hmm. Croatia is the Mick Cronin of World Cup soccer. You know what the C in Croatia stands for, Dan?
I do not.
Cronin.
Really?
Yeah,
They've got that status.
they do.
Wait a minute.
Dan,
Wait a minute.
you're going to
No-
have to kill him. You're
no-
going to have to attend a funeral after the game. I'm
Nobody
just warning
who
anyone.
else has that status? Who
No
else
one,
has
just Croatia.
Cronin status. It's Cronin in Croatia. That's it.
Yeah,
Cronin status is the highest hard to kill status.
it is. This Croatia team, though, it appears that you're going to have to kill them. They're not leaving quietly, Dan. They are not. They're not. They're a good team.
It was weird. Amin told us that the U.S. men's national team would have generations to catch up to Brazil. And they just advanced one round further.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's right, ultimately, because it's been a while.
I feel like I could be a soccer goalie. I do.
Are you crazy?
What do you mean?
What are you talking talking about?
Dan, a good game for a soccer goalie is, a couple of saves a game. Sometimes they have no shots. I mean, I feel like I could just stand in goal. I mean, with the right defense and team around me. Like Jalen Hurts. I mean,
Could you score 5 PKs on yourself if you were the goalie?
no. I'd save a couple.
So they're not that easy then.
Well, he's
I mean,
a good goalie.
I just need one. That's it. I need 1 out of 5 to
So you
prove
could
my
score
point.
1 on yourself.
Easily.
What?
You think you're a better goalie or a better person taking PKs?
I'd rip it upper 90. I mean, that's what the great ones do. No look, by the way.
No look, PK.
You got to sell them one side, shoot
Snake
to the
eyes.
other.
Yeah, snake eyes.
Yeah.
Snake eyes.
Side net
What do you mean snake eyes?
Yeah, snake eyes. Look one way, kick the other way.
or the 5-hole.
That's what's called snake eyes. That's
Yeah.
called. I thought snake eyes was double ones and die. What?
Who knows? I mean,
Definitely when you look at one place, you throw it another place.
the
Snake
beautiful
eyes.
game, yeah.
More like lazy eye.
Whoever scored for Morocco, hops. Guy could jump out of the gym. He'd be the best player on the Rockets. I mean, Dan, you know what the G in Giroux stands for? Whatever his name is.
Giroux.
Great,
Olivier Giroux.
great head of hair.
Golden Boot. Good guess, though.
I mean, it's
he
just
does have a great
it's
head of
just
hair.
a beautiful
He
head
does.
of hair. It
He's a
really
good player. I
Wait,
mean,
the G in Giroux stands for Ballon d'Or?
what?
Never mind.
Giroux.
Huh? You know what the C in Harry K stands for? I'm sorry. I messed that one up. I meant Harry Kane. Choker did.
You,
He's right.
He choked. I mean, he put it over the net. He didn't go 90 degree. He didn't look one way and go another. He didn't go straight down the middle. If you listen to Amin's dad, straight down the middle. He didn't do any of those things.
If you listen to
He
him,
blew it. He
he's
choked.
sad.
Tough year for the Canes.
spells his with a K.
You know what the E in England stands for? Enough. Seriously, they invented the game. Who's not in the semifinals? England. Seriously. You know who is? Croatia.
That's right.
You want to know why? Someone can't kill them.
They're in the Cronin category. That's why.
Oh, I like soccer. I'm growing to like soccer. I'm into it. It's kind of cool.
Whoa.
You sound super respectful of it.
Whoa.
I mean, I'm trying, Mike. I'm trying my best. France is the Duke of World Cup soccer. They are. No one wants them to win. Nobody.
I have a hot take. I think we could have a conversation about combined success of men's and women's
Be
programs.
careful, Mike.
That
Be
might
careful.
complicate it. But I think by this with this semifinal appearance, I think France, for people 40 and under,
Oh, no.
people of my age,
No, this can't be.
France
No.
is now the top footballing nation of our lifetime.
Oh, my God.
I think they just surpassed Brazil with this
Really?
march into the semifinals.
Hmm.
You have to understand, they've done this with a totally depleted roster. That's how stacked they are. The best player on the planet, Karim Benzema, got hurt in training, has not played in this World Cup. N'Golo Kante, Paul Pogba, guys that were essential to their last World Cup when out injured. Backup, depth, injured. They're machines. Incredible.
But you agree no one wants them to win outside of France, right? Unless you have money on it.
No, I think everybody wants to see France in the final. Morocco, it's been an incredible story. This is the furthest an African nation has ever made it. They're in the semifinal. But I think the World Cup final is one of those things that you don't want to see George Mason sneak into it, you know?
Mm-hmm. Fair. Caleb Williams, congratulations on the new house. Hope the move went well. Caleb Williams, definition of a franchise quarterback. The kid is so good and a leader.
Considering NIL, he probably also legitimately moved into another house outside of the Heisman house.
Did he do that on purpose? I'm sorry. At the Heisman ceremony, not him. Did C.J. Stroud do on purpose the shaking of the first two hands and then skipping past Desmond Howard because he's a Michigan guy after that? Was that done purposely or was that an accident?
I don't know. But this is why we can't possibly, in good faith, root for a Michigan Ohio State national
Yeah,
champion.
I wasn't able to
Exactly.
watch. I was too busy
Great
having
point,
people
Jess.
spit directly into my eyes.
Same.
In my mouth.
I was spitting into other people's eyes too. It's a lot of close talking.
Lincoln Riley, if great coaches were measured by the amount of Heisman Trophy winners you've coached, you'd be the greatest of all time. Unfortunately, they are not. Do me a favor. Win a title. Brock Purdy, hop on a birdie and do it on the road. Joe Flacco, I know it's Buffalo. I know it's December. I know you are just trying to get through it without avoiding or moving or blinking or doing anything. But for the love of God, when you are forced into action, can you do me a favor and at least act like you want to be in the game? Seriously. Can you act like you want to win a football game for the New York Jets? It drives me crazy.
What is driving you crazy?
Joe
there?
Flacco. And why is Zach Wilson not suited up for the football game? He's the franchise quarterback. We have to go to Joe Flacco, who doesn't want to be there, doesn't want to move, doesn't care once he gets the opportunity. Why? Because he's Joe Flacco.
I thought you wanted him. I
think. Listen, Joe Flacco at this stage is one of those things you think you want until you get it, and then you don't want
Put it on the poll, Guillermo, at LeBatard Show. Is Joe Flacco at this stage something you think you want and then you don't get it? That can't be true for anyone except the Jets fan base and their calamity at quarterback.
Snowflakes and rain seem to bounce off of Joe Flacco's hair. I do. Dan, I was right about the Giants. They were the worst 4-1 team in NFL history, and 5-1, and 6-1. How? Dan Campbell should receive a lifetime contract from the Lions.
There it is.
You agree?
No.
He should be Dan. It's a match made in heaven.
Okay.
It is. That guy should be the Lions coach for the remainder of time.
We were 3 games ago. We were making fun of him.
Yeah. Well, we're not anymore. Last laugh, Dan Campbell. If you want to mail something to Jeff Driscoll, just stuff it in an envelope, seal it, and write Texans quarterback room across the front of the envelope. That's his address. You don't need to put his name on it. The mailman will know who it goes to. Were you surprised Driscoll's still out there? He's still doing it. Almost won a game. Dallas Cowboys, congratulations on winning a game you probably should have lost. Well, Dan, that's that. The Chargers won.
How about
the
that
2020 draft?
For a second,
What happened? I was talking about who won the draft.
I know. You were moving too fast for me. The observations were coming fast and furious. The Dallas Cowboys, how close they were to losing that game.
Yep.
The Houston Texans had
I'm congratulating them.
a play at their goal line. Had a play at their goal line. That's so stupid. How is that possible? They were a 17.5-point dog.
I don't know. Football.
But how is it that weird?
Football.
I thought he broke the plane, honestly. And they didn't review it. I was like, I would have thrown every challenge that I had left at that because you knew they weren't going to score.
I mean, Purdy beat Brady. I mean, Purdy's parents brought tickets to that game months ago, not to see their son, to see Tom Brady. And Purdy beat him.
The last player
Football.
selected in the draft. And now everyone's scared of the 49ers again.
Of course. Do it on the road. The Dolphins should charge Tua with murdering their season. Mike Williams physically
Yes.
looks like he should be the best wide receiver
Yes.
in the NFL by a lot.
Yeah.
He played well last night. I'm not certain in the history of the NFL.
Can we do this for a second as we legislate Herbert and Tua every week based on who won or lost that week? Herbert, when he's healthy, and Williams and Keenan Allen are out there, everyone gets overwhelmed by everything that Herbert is. And last night is the referendum. Billy, did you or did you not say to me that last night was it? Herbert or Tua, game forever, flex Sunday night. This decides who's the better guy.
That's what people were talking about.
That's what you said.
But then we forgot about the fact that it was really more of a referendum on the coaches.
Exactly.
We did forget that.
I'm not certain in the history of the NFL that a team has accomplished more by doing absolutely nothing than the Washington Commanders. What a weekend for the Commanders. Sat at home and watched them rise up 2 spots in the playoff standings.
Ron Rivera, Coach of the Year if it's not Dan Campbell.
Yeah, Riverboat Ron. Just once, I'd like to know what it feels like to be a man.
What?
He's right.
Because after watching Josh Allen play football, I'm not certain I am. He's a different kind of man.
I mean,
he's a man. Dan, there's men, and then there's men. And Josh Allen falls into the latter. He does.
He looks like a child.
I mean, he jumps over people, through people who are bigger than him. He doesn't care. He just does what he does and wins. I mean, he's amazing.
Feels like everybody in the NFL is more man than people that don't play in the NFL.
Probably.
Every single
I
one.
wonder what that says about all of us that believe that.
Mm-hmm. That's the Geno Smith I know and love.
Means our dicks are small.
I want to shake your hand.
I want to shake your hand. We were talking about some of the nicknames in sports, like Big Dick Nick, and how just it's so gross. Like they're like Big Cock Brock is out there.
What?
And
Brock
we
Hard.
Alex Smith said it on the ESPN Daily this morning, and I was flabbergasted.
we put the large penis on a pedestal as male sports fans, and we're not really gonna get anywhere as a society until we start embracing like 4-inch Fred.
That would be nice.
I mean, come on. What do you mean? Hey, can we do
And
it?
here comes Baby Dick Bill.
I'd kill for 4.
Can we now normalize this? Can we find a way to celebrate, to go the other way? Zig while others are zagging. Everyone wants to do this stupid thing. Let's go the other way. So
There's micro penis Maddie.
The voice. Sorry. Tweet from Luke Russert. If Morocco beats France on Wednesday,
Joe Flaccid.
he was acting like he didn't want to be there.
it's so annoying. I mean, we're trying to win a football game. Poor Mike White's out there with 19 broken ribs.
They almost killed the guy.
I know.
And then he just kept going back out.
And Flacco was like,
was
we
like,
were
I'm
getting
good.
in the way of his afternoon.
Is the violence of football
Retire!
Is the violence of football so normal that we will watch Baltimore-Pittsburgh, everyone's getting concussed, Pickett, just get back out there. Mike White, at one point during that game, I thought he had been hit by a flaming spear thrown from the crowd or one of Tony's crutches. He's holding the middle of his body as if, oh my God, that hurt so much. And then 3 plays later, he's back out there because Flacco didn't want to be because it was cold.
I think Joe said, hey, get Mike back out here.
And then he got folded like a lawn chair.
It looked like it hurt. The Buffalo defense is pretty good. They're pretty physical.
Attempted murder.
Tweet from Luke Russert. If Morocco beats France on Wednesday, they will have gone 3-0 over countries that once occupied and colonized their shores.
Oh, God.
I have no idea what any of that means, Dan. But I feel like it's a big-time revenge game. I'm asking.
Put that way.
Well, is it?
Put that way.
Okay. Lose 2, win 5, lose 1, win 2, lose 3. That's Titans football.
That was a bad loss.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, come on. You guys have been telling
They'll
me
still be right there.
Vrabel, how special he is. Always 7-3. You lose at home to Jacksonville by 4 touchdowns a game. You've got to have football.
Right. Well, I mean, they're still in the playoffs, and they'll win the next 3 because that's Titans football. No one wins ugly like the Ravens. Ever. In the history of football. Dan, last week, we agreed that we live in a world where the Sacramento Kings are good. This week, I think we might agree that we live in a world where the Lions are also good. Hell is going on. Speaking of hell, Art Briles. Dan, those are the weekend observations.